Buckle up. This is Musicians and Beyond, where we bring you the backstage info on the life, lyrics, and long journeys of the music industry. Last episode, we had Jimmy McWilliams and a special co-host, Francois Samad. And what an exciting episode that was. Make sure you go and support all your local musicians. Jimmy McWilliams was the winner of Seacoast Idol last year. And the artist that we have today, we actually met him at this year's Seacoast Idol. Today we have Jonny Deups. Jonny, welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going great, man. Thanks for coming in and talking with us and sharing your music and your story.
Thank you guys very much for having me.
Yeah, so you've been in music for quite a while.
I have.
You have? And how did you first start getting into the music industry?
In the music industry is a bit tough of a question, but I got into music through my father coming home when I was probably in the second or third grade with a guitar that ended up being a super relevant guitar. It was a Gibson SG, a guitar no second grader or third grader should ever have. He didn't have much guitar knowledge back then and brought it home as like a gift. I guess they paid him for the day with the guitar. He wanted to do that. His brother was a musician his whole life, so my uncle Alan has played guitar and been a songwriter for a long time. Hearing him and seeing him play as a young child always resonated with me. That guitar probably sat for 4 years. He brought it home and I was interested in it for about 2 weeks. You know how children are with exploring different things very quickly. Probably 7th or 8th grade, I got in a band with a couple of guys that were older than me. And at that point, I knew that I had something that I wanted to work at and become better at. Mm-hmm. And here I am now.
When you got into it, do you think it was in your blood, or do you think you got into it because you were interested in what your uncle was doing?
So my dad, if you watch this, I love you, buddy, but my dad really doesn't have a musical bone in his body. His brother, Alan, as I said, was very talented and still is very talented at singing and playing the guitar.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you've done a lot of things lately. You're playing all over New England. You're New England based.
Yes, I am.
And you have played outside New England.
I have. I've played shows in as far as Sarasota, Florida, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine, Vermont. I did like a little winter circuit at some ski mountains this past winter. Those venues are very fun. People that get off the mountain are always in such good moods, and it's fun to play with people that are exchanging energy with you, you know?
Yeah. So if I'm correct, your winters must be full because you're an avid snowboarder.
So when I was a bit younger, I spent a lot of my time snowboarding. Yes, I did. I had an accident in 2014 where I fell pretty hard and fractured a part of my back. I've been on my snowboard a bunch since then, but a few years later following that incident, I hurt my right foot, and it really hasn't been the same ever since. So you don't see me strapping my snowboard on and hitting, 50-foot gap jumps at this point in my life. Mm-hmm. I'll still go snowboarding and have fun making turns and, doing a little bit of fancy footwork here and there, but nothing large or major.
Yeah, so you're going to do that for fun in music for fun and your career.
Yes. Yep. So currently, I'm working in some hours in marine construction right now during the week. But to be completely honest with you, I would love more than anything for music to be at the point where it can take up a full-time schedule of mine. I could do that right now with playing shows at different venues local to where I live, like bar scene or restaurant types of venues, which I have been doing. I've been kind of juggling playing 3 shows a week at restaurants, pubs, or bars or lounges, as well as doing my, 8 to 4. So,
Yeah. So you're comfortable with that for now, but that's not really your end goal. You're hoping
Yeah,
to go up the chain a little bit.
yeah, my end goal is not playing my guitar 7 nights a week. I would rather work towards something a bit larger than that. Ticketed shows, I've had a couple of them. Those are really nice. You only really have to project a few of those a year. They pay well. There's people in the audience that are there just to listen. They don't have the option to hold loud conversations at the bar that can overtone your playing, or listening rooms are really nice. The people that pay for a ticket are there to listen to the music, and those like I said, the exchange of energy and gratitude for me being there and playing and them being there to listen to the music is everything for a musician. I think I speak for every musician when I say that. That's
when you're in an intimate venue, it's one-on-one.
Yeah.
You're basically doing that. If you got a giant venue, you probably wouldn't feel the same way.
So when I was younger, that band that I played in, we played a good amount of larger venues, and you can find a sense of enjoyment. I mean, it's great. It's just what I explained, just times however many people are there. It can be that times tenfold. Yeah. It would be really nice to play at a place like the Palladium or, something of a venue of that size. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. And over the last few years, you've really made a name for yourself, and you're starting to get more known and in demand.
Yes.
You got so in demand, we talked about it earlier, that you had a problem scheduling everything, and now you have your own manager that does all the scheduling. So, like we said, that's an awesome problem to have.
Yeah. Shout out Jake. Thank you for everything that you do, man. So let's talk about Jake for a second.
Let's do it.
Speaking of being grateful, I'm grateful to have somebody that is not only my friend, but has showed up to every show more so than any person that I know, as well as teaching himself to tune guitars, set up all my equipment as a guitar technician the way that he does and has been at the past 20, 25 shows, traveling with me, and now graduating and taking upon himself to go to a role of management and find eligible places for me to play and for us to travel to. And it's shout out Jake. Thank you.
Yeah, what a great collaboration.
Yeah.
And you probably couldn't do it without him at this point.
It's just it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
People don't understand that when you get to this level of musicianship, as much as we love playing the guitar and just doing it for the sole purpose that that's what we're here to do, traveling costs money, playing the guitar, it costs money for us at this point, and to be paid that money and be grateful while getting that installment of money is just nothing I ever thought that I would get to.
Yeah, which reminds me, when our viewers and listeners go to a show and they see a live musician, don't be afraid to throw a $5, $10 bill in the bucket, and that helps support these musicians that work so hard.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, every venue is different. Some big, some small. Some respect music more than others, some don't. Not all these venues pay the same amount of money, and a lot of the times that you see a musician up there playing music, they are probably not getting what they think they are worth. I'm not saying that with the venues that I work with. I'm so grateful with what they do for me, but I've worked very hard for many years to get in the seat that I'm in. And I just wish going forward for other musicians that I see growing, I hope that they can, get what they're worth in a quicker time period than I had to.
Yeah, and there's a lot that goes into it. Playing the actual music probably takes up the least amount of time to doing a show. Between booking and setting up and setting the stage and making arrangements with everything. And then you go up and play a couple-hour set. There's probably 10, 15 hours into every show that goes into it.
Rewind 2 questions you asked me a bit ago, and I went on a little rant and got off topic, but I was implying that when you get to this level of music, it's a business, and there's a lot of money that's invested. There's a lot of time invested. So to be able to make the money is necessary.
Excellent, excellent. So I think it's probably a good time to have you show off some of your musical talents and your songwriting skills. So
Okay.
what song do you think you want to play for our audience?
So this song is called Way Up on the Ridge, and it's a song about the weather changing on the top of a mountain. I mean, I guess we could say, metaphorically speaking, it could mean a lot of different things. But I hope you guys enjoy it. This one I wrote.
All right, Jonny Deups.
The weather has been changing way on top the ridge, and it is getting cold. Hope the trees will block the wind. And it is getting dark. Hope the trees will block some wind. This wagon's making noise. The chassis wearing thin. The seatbelts, they won't buckle. Seems the walls, they're caving in. The seatbelts, they won't buckle. Seems the walls, they're caving in. One day we'll wake up. When we wake up, we'll be older. One day we'll wake up. When we wake up, we'll be older. And now that boy is tired. He's barely hanging on. He works all this overtime in his mind until he's gone. He's worked all this overtime in his mind until he's gone. One day we'll wake up. When we wake up, we'll be older. One day we'll wake up. When we wake up, we'll be older. The weather has been changing way on top the ridge, and it is getting cold. Hope the trees will block the wind. And it is getting dark. Hope the trees will block some wind.
Awesome. Jonny Deups. Jonny, how do our listeners and viewers find you?
So you can find me on the interwebs. At symbol on Instagram, Jonny Deups, no H. So it's JONNYDEUPS. I repeat, JONNYDEUPS. You can also type that into like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and there's only a couple of songs right now, but I'll be in the recording process pretty shortly here to pump out 3 or 4 more songs within the next couple of months.
Yeah, so be sure to follow Jonny and check out his music and download it, because these musicians really rely upon people
Yeah.
downloading and not pirating the music, because it's really pennies, literally pennies per play. Like
Yeah,
it's a lot of plays to make $1. So
it is.
So that will help out. Jonny, so that song there, how did you told us a little bit about what it was, but how did you write it? What is your writing process?
So for that one, I was in a cabin-style home in Sebago, Sebago Lake, and I had a lot of different emotions going through me at that time. So I guess that analogy of the weather changing had to do with the way I was feeling in the situation that I was in at that current time.
Cool.
You know, and life is full of ups and downs, and you get to exactly where you are in the shoes that you're in the second that I'm speaking about because of those ups and downs. And yeah.
It's true. It's a song that everybody can relate to.
Yeah.
Like everyone goes through these things. And did it come easy for you to write, or did it take days, or?
So that song, I kind of got I got lucky with that one. If any musicians are listening to this or watching this, there are songs that come to us a bit easier than others. Some are like, you know, very, very tough on us and take 10 times more time than others. Just like with many things in life, the better ones usually take a little bit more time, a little more effort. But that's not to say that there hasn't been Grammy Award, you know, songs projected into the universe already that have been written like that.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I take probably a good month to write and get the song down. I don't want to play it if I've been working on it recently. I like to get it set in stone almost before I put it into the world.
Okay.
As far as playing it live. I have so much respect for the musicians that can write a song and play it a few days later in front of people and like knock it out of the park. I feel like I do a lot of fumbling when I do that, and it doesn't get to show my level of actual musicianship.
Right, because you come off as a true professional.
Thank you.
You do.
I appreciate that a lot.
No, it's true. I mean, I saw you up at the Seacoast Idol.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about that, and we're big on supporting local musicians as
Yes.
well as big musicians, but the musicians we have on are at a professional status like yourself. So at Seacoast Idol, there was, I think, what we start out with, 15 contestants.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was like 15 contestants, and one was better than the next. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I shout out to all the judges that actually did judge that competition. That must have been really, really tough for you. I got there my first night and played, and I remember saying into the microphone, I was like, I don't necessarily know exactly what I'm doing here after hearing all of these people play, because they were all such talented vocalists.
Yeah, well, you deserve to be there because
Thank you.
you
I
were right in there.
I
And
appreciate
I
that.
was one of the judges for one of the nights.
You were.
And it was extremely difficult.
I bet.
And what I found the most difficult is you're sitting on a judge's panel, and I have one opinion, and they have a different opinion. So if someone got booted off, it doesn't mean that they weren't unbelievable awesome.
No, a lot of us saw them rolling dice back there, like flipping quarters.
Yeah,
and stuff.
it almost came down to flipping a coin, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yeah.
And, you know, it ended up being 2-1 on a vote. And that's what it is. But everybody up there, especially the last couple of weeks, I mean, right from the get-go, they're all winners because they all have super potential. And, you know, the person that won, there are other people that didn't win that have some big things coming. So just because they didn't win that particular night doesn't mean that they're not going to go places. And what I like, you were very humble, and you, after you got released from the contestants,
Yeah.
you were there showing support for all the other.
Yeah, I went every single week with
Yeah.
not only myself, but the same people that came to listen to my music. I said, we're going to support everybody's music.
Yeah,
This is what
and
it's
that's
all about."
awesome. And you all rubbed elbows. And actually, last night, you had one of the contestants that you didn't know personally very well come and join you at one of your gigs. Tell us about that.
So last night, Eloise and her parents were at the Goat, and she delivered back a musical instrument that I use under my foot. It's called a Wild Dog stomp pedal. Actually, shout out Wild Dog. They're a company, I believe, from Nashville, Tennessee, and they make acoustic style foot bass pedals. So you can play like a deep note percussion as well as play your guitar at the same time. It adds a great dynamic, and it's almost, to the crowd, it's something that makes the hips move. Bass guitar and percussion is very important in musical acts, for that matter. Shaking the hips, you know. Acoustic guitar, it's hard to get that, to get those low ends on acoustic guitars because it's so tinny. So having that foot pedal that plays the bass is really, really nice.
Cool.
So I let her use it for a couple of days. They're not that cheap, so I let her use it for a couple of days to see if she wanted to make the investment, which then she did, and she came and returned it last night, and it just so happened she had her guitar. So I said, why don't we get you up here to play a song or two, and then film it, send it to the booking agent of that establishment to get her some current or future gigs, rather, at the Goat.
Awesome. And that will come back to you, you helping the others. Someone's going to see
it's-
what kind of a person. It's not really a
it's-
competition.
No, it's not. It's not. It's just you got to support. You got to support local music, and if it just so happens that local music is really good, then absolutely support that.
We are pretty lucky here in New England. We have some unbelievable local talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just I would put it up there with like there's more in Nashville, but it's the same quality. There's some great musicians.
Yeah, shout out Zane Christopher. Also, I just met him as well at the Seacoast Idol. Very, very talented 25-year-old singer-songwriter.
Yeah,
the kid's most definitely going places.
Yeah, that kid was awesome.
He's
I actually went down to Nantucket the night before the final night to see him, and his band are tight.
Yeah, he has such a great sound, and that's what it comes down to nowadays. Is your sound original, and is the person projecting that sound? Are they good people? Do they represent what you want a person to represent? Because that's what music comes down in 2025. There's so much good music everywhere. You have to like what the person's about, you know, the lyrics that they're writing. Are they, you know, would you hang out with them and go watch, you know, watch TV and have popcorn? Like, could you put up with them for 30 minutes?
Right.
Like, there's a lot of things that come into play when.
And that is huge. That could make or break someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
could be
you
the
don't
most
have to
talented-
be the absolute best, but you've got to be the best person.
Yeah, you could be the most talented guy in the room
Yeah.
and be a jerk, and everybody not really want to shake a stick at you because of your personality.
I tell this story a lot on our episodes, but Paul Bielatovich, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a guitar player for Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and he was one of our guests. And I had asked him his advice to up-and-coming musicians, and he said, you know, do your best and don't be a dick.
Yeah.
And that was like the best
Yeah.
advice because
That's great
it's true.
advice.
It is great
Yeah,
advice.
that's all-star advice. What was his name?
Paul Bielatovich.
Shout out Paul Bielatovich.
Lots of shout outs today.
Yeah.
Are you endorsed by that bass company that you were talking about? Or?
So recently I've been going back and forth with them about a potential partnership, which that would consist of, I don't really know right now, but I'm super interested in partnering with them. The amount of great that pedal can produce for a single solo songwriter is unbelievable.
Yeah,
you see it in the crowd when you play it. You start a song out without it, and then this is at a bar scene where they have the option to talk, eat food, and not listen to music. You're kind of background music, but when you start playing that, you see a lot of the forks hit the plate, and they like turn around and, you know, they're wiping their mouths, and they're like, wait, what's going on? This guy has like a band with him, and you kind of give them the fake out for a second.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
Grab their attention.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So there is a lot of opportunities in music, not just playing gigs. There are opportunities for getting endorsed.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, money or product or whatever. You can do commercials, commercial music. But you are basically someone that really loves playing in front of the crowd and want to up your ante.
Yeah, I just like to To share the music that I work hard on and hope that one person in the audience can relate a little bit to the point where they enjoyed themselves that night just a little bit better because they got to listen to it.
Isn't it cool? You can transform someone from their miserable being when they walk in to somewhere completely different, and they forget their problems at the door because of what you're doing.
Yeah, I've been pissed off plenty of time and just turned the radio up real loud and felt a little better.
And it helps. It works.
Yes.
Music is, as they say, it's cliche, but it's universal.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on and on. Speaking of universal, what do you have up your sleeve for the next one?
So this next song is, it's called Tequila and Tacos. It's pretty self-explanatory. I currently moved to Newburyport, Massachusetts, which is a beautiful little town. There's a lot of good food and there's a lot of good people. One of my favorite places to go is a place called Port Vita. It's a Mexican cantina that's relatively located 2 blocks away from where I just moved. It's ran by a tight-knit family. Paula's awesome. She's good to me. I may be one of the only solo acoustic guitar acts that's ever played there, or if that's wrong, I know I'm probably one of the first acts that's played there. This song is inspired by that place.
All right. Jonny Deups.
So very happy we made it. Walking down the stairs to the basement. Hope there's no rules I'll be breaking tonight. Roll one, then I face it. Don't go knocking on that door. Sneak me right to the basement. I'm so very happy we made it. Walking up the stairs to the basement. Hope there's no rules I'll be breaking tonight. Roll one, then I face it. Don't go knocking on that door. Sneak me right to the basement. Tequila and tacos, red wine and nachos. We can stay here for some more. Whiskey and chicken, shots in the kitchen. We can have a phone call till 4. Gin and pizza, damn nice to meet ya. Don't leave nothing on my floor. On my floor. I'm so very happy we made it. Walking down the stairs to the basement. Hope there's no rules I'll be breaking tonight. Throw one and I'll face it. Don't go knocking on that door. Sneak me right to the basement. Tequila and tacos, red wine and nachos. We can stay here for some more. Whiskey and chicken, shots in the kitchen. We can have a phone call till 4. Gin and pizza, damn nice to meet ya. Don't leave nothing on my floor. On my floor.
When you're out playing, you play mostly a solo gig?
Yeah, if the venue calls for a full band, I love playing with the full band. I have a few guys that play with me that are very talented, and it's a certain type of show, though. It's more of like a ticketed event or a larger venue, a place that has a bigger budget. Yeah. To pay 5 musicians on stage costs more than to pay 1 musician on stage.
Right, of course. And who are the musicians that you have in your full band?
So the guys that have been recently playing with me and it sounding great and me being very grateful for them to being in the band and playing the music with me has been Dave Druin on lead guitar, and then I play guitar and I sing, and Dave also sings some songs and plays. He's just one of the most ridiculous musicians I've ever met. He's so talented. He's in a few different bands people might know. One of them being Soul Rebel Project. Super talented and known reggae rock band from Massachusetts.
How fun is that?
They sell out like Crane's Castle every time they play there. It's just, yeah, they're a super talented group. They've been doing and working on their craft for such a long time, and it shows. Then I also have Seth Campbell that plays piano. And he, I believe, well, I know he's a Berklee graduate. I believe he teaches at Berklee as well. He's a super talented piano player. And he also plays like the flutes and I mean, this may be ignorantly spoken, but I'm pretty sure he plays the recorders as well. And he has like 10 of them in a rack when he plays them, all having different keys, like a harmonica, I believe. He hasn't played those with us, but in other bands that he plays in, he plays the piano, the keys, and he also plays, the recorders. I think that's what they're called, right?
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
Or
they could be a bunch of
three-quarters of
different
things when you're in like sixth grade that they give
but
you the
you
thing
should
and you
you
play
couldn't
hot
do what
cross
this kid did
buns.
in sixth grade. It's like the craziest music.
Wow, that's cool. And do you play anything else besides the guitar?
So I can play a little bit piano. I can play the drums pretty well. I've been in bands playing drums before and singing. But guitar is my main instrument. I've been playing it the longest. I feel, I don't know, it just feels right to have a guitar.
I like it.
When I'm on stage, I feel like, what's that movie back in the day with the kid that was Big Daddy? His son, Adam Sandler's movie. His son was like really shy, but when he put on his sunglasses, he could do anything.
So that guitar is your sunglasses.
It's kind of how I feel. Yeah, awesome. I've held on to a guitar for so long.
Yeah, and that's a great sounding guitar. And you said when you got that guitar,
this isn't the guitar that I had the story.
Oh, okay.
Earlier.
I'm sorry.
That guitar is no longer with me anymore. I wish it was, because it would probably be upwards of $10,000. When back then when I was, how old was I? I was probably 9. It probably cost a couple $100 to my dad or something for the day of work or something. Yeah. Yeah, crazy. Hold on to your guitars, your vintage guitars. Give them to your kids' kids.
Awesome. What an heirloom to pass down. So you've been writing for quite a while. How many songs do you think you've written?
How many songs do I think I've written? I've probably written, I don't know, 100?
100 songs, that's
150.
Yeah, that's significant. You have all of those in a catalog. And if you're going to collaborate and throw those into an album to release, how would you go about to pick which songs you would put in it out of your
So
collection?
what I do is I'll play music live, like we talked about, at bars and restaurants, and I'll bring out a song every once in a while. I'll be like on a stage or in the corner of our room sometimes, like on a stool, which is more so than not being in the corner of a room. It's not always on a beautiful stage. And I'll bring out something, play it, that I haven't played in a long time. And the reaction of the audience kind of tells me whether I should play that song again next week, or if I keep it in the back. And I do understand that sometimes people just aren't listening and they're eating their, steak tips or having a conversation about something super important where they're kind of not listening to the music. I understand that not every song you play is going to get judged the way that it should be, but I kind of base it stereotypically off the audience reaction.
It's a good way to let the audience decide.
Yeah.
And do you have anything that's going to be released in the near future?
So July this year, in May this year, I dropped Pink Shirts and Lemonade, which is kind of a summer anthem for me, and for some of my friends. I've played music for a long time, but I haven't put in the effort to record it. I've recorded through many studios, probably 3 or 4 different times, but I've never gotten to the point of putting the music out for people to hear it. I am now in a different mindset, and I'm putting my music down on paper, on recordings, and I'm getting it out to you guys. I'm sorry that it took so long. I don't know why I had my head up my ass for so long, excuse my French.
Yeah, why would you do that? Is it a confidence thing?
I don't know. The relationship that I've been building with music for as long as I have has just been getting better and better as I get older. I think I'm still perfecting my craft. I think I still have room to improve. I think I have a lot of room for improvement, actually, to be honest with you guys. And as long as I keep working the way that I am working right now, I will get there, you know?
Yeah, you're on a good upward trend, and you have a lot of people that you've connected with,
Yes.
and you've proven yourself out there in the circuit.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. So once again, this is Musicians and Beyond for our listeners and viewers. Make sure you go on all your socials and give us a follow, and also Jonny Deups. And Jonny, tell us something about you that might surprise the audience.
That might surprise the audience.
You told us you were a snowboarder. Is there anything else? What do you do with your free time?
I mean, I don't have much free time.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that I work daily, even on Sundays, from 8 to probably 4 o'clock every day, and then I'm usually on a stage or in the corner of a room by 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So lately, I haven't had much free time. I enjoyed skateboarding when I was younger a lot. That's kind of what got me into the whole snowboarding thing. I was like, wait, I can do something similar to skateboarding. The hardest part about skateboarding is landing back on the board. So I'm thinking, the board's always strapped to my feet. How hard can this be? You know?
But you got hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, because what that tends is then you scale up. So when you're doing smaller gaps and jumps and tricks on your skateboard, you can, you know, those skateboard tricks are 5-7 feet off the ground. Now when you're on a snowboard, they can be 20 feet off the ground. It's hard to compare, but they're very similar and very different in many ways.
Adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
What's better, the snowboarding, the skateboarding, or the lights coming on at a venue?
Oh, no comparison. Playing the guitar and finishing a song and knowing that you played it to the capability that you should play it, and having them react in a positive way is by far the best feeling that I've ever had given to me since I've been on this earth.
Must be cool. I couldn't do it because I actually, believe it or not, I get stage fright.
How? You got like 17 cameras on you.
Right, but we can edit this stuff. When you're live in front of an audience, it's hard.
Well, you had me fooled at the event
Oh,
when you
thank
were up
you.
there speaking.
I
Oh, he had his sunglasses on, actually.
I did. I was like that. You remember that. So before we go, we'd like you to play one more song. You're going to play Pink Shirts and Lemonade?
Yeah, why not?
Let's hear it. This is Jonny Deups. Make sure you give him a follow and check us out. Jonny Deups with Pink Shirts and Lemonade.
I'll sometimes confuse myself for a little while, and I'll sometimes surprise myself just a little bit. All these mistakes that are made, yeah, we'll live with them, and all these motions day to day. On this day, no, should say days, yo. I've been thinking way too much on what I wanna say, go. Pink shirts and lemonade. I found sand in my shoes. Just as a trail behind you, walking to the next bar to find the best booze. Pink shirts and lemonade, I found sand in my shoes. Just as a trail behind you. And the moon goes up and lights the town. I'll throw some rope on Brad Pitt and pull it back down. Let's use this time to shine the light. And if you want, babe, we can let go, just let it rise tonight. Pink shirts and lemonade, I found sand in my shoes. Just as a trail behind you, we're walking to the next bar to find the best booze. Pink shirts and lemonade, I found sand in my shoes. Just as a trail behind you. We're smoking and we're drinking at the same time. Mix the liquor with the pink and the white wine. And I'm staring at your eyes in the moonlight. I'm hoping one day you might be mine. We're smoking and we're drinking at the same time. Mix the liquor with the pink and the white wine. And I'm staring at your eyes in the moonlight. This Mercedes carries across the state lines. Pink shirts and lemonade, I found sand in my shoes. Just as a trail behind you, walking to the next bar to find the best booze. Pink shirts and lemonade, I found sand in my shoes. Just as a trail behind you.
What a fun song, Johnny. You know, I could almost picture a video of everyone hanging out at the lake on the boat, drinking and shooting the crap in a beautiful summer day.
So we have a bunch of different compiled shots for the music video, and the music video is very fun.
Is it already out?
It's not out yet. I've dropped bits and pieces. If you go on to my Instagram, which is the @JONNY DEUPS, the latest post that I have, the thumbnails of like a pink sunset. If you click on that, the song will be playing, and that's a little teaser of the music video that will be dropping.
How exciting. When's that going to come out?
So I've actually said that the music video was gonna drop a month and a half ago, but I started playing a lot of music and it got pushed on the back burner. I apologize for the people that were looking forward to watching the video by now and haven't got the chance to, but I'll do you one better. We've gotten a couple new shots since the date that I said, so it'll have better shots in it because there will be a couple more clips for the video. So I appreciate everybody's patience.
That's awesome. No, that's good stuff. It's all for a good thing.
Yeah.
And you're doing good stuff. And, you know, we like to think that people come into our studios here as an acquaintance or a referral and leave as a friend. So I want to thank you for coming in and being a new friend of Musicians and Beyond. And please give Jonny Deups a follow, check him out, download his music, and show him some love. Go see a live show. You're not going to be disappointed. It's good stuff. So thanks for coming in and being our friend.
Thank you very much for you guys having me today. I'm so grateful. Thank you for all the viewers. If you guys are watching, thank you so much.